Welcome in to the Thursday night edition of the Oxford Exxon podcast.
I've got so many files, guys. I've got so many files in here because kind of getting ready for Saturday and stuff that I couldn't find the main one.
The one we're actually supposed to go to.
Yeah, that's it was like eighth, and it was usually third. So
it's all good. We will be with you here for a little while. We'll talk a little bit. We'll take some calls. We'll hang out however you guys want to hang out tonight. We have football on. What do we have?
Oh shit!
The TV's not even on in the Clark Ford studio currently.
I have worked all day today, and just a lot of it's kind of getting ready. And I owed people favors, and I did people's shows, and it's been one of those days. But it's good. It's okay. I'm not complaining.
We will go live around 12:30 on actually the stream probably earlier than that, but School Board Business 12:30 on Saturday prior to Ole Miss and LSU at 2:30. Be with you for however long that game lasts.
So NFL football, show. Raiders and Chargers.
So you get to watch Justin Herbert.
Good uniform game.
It's a good uniform game. We can either pick that or right below it on the channel list was Mississippi Roads. Is that thing where they just drive around?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like a Peloton class. So just drive around. You can act like you're cruising through Pelahatchie or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'll do one of those Peloton rides where I just go through
on the road?
Yeah, where I do some random city.
Oh, really?
Kind of see what it's like. Kind of cool.
But your bike,
your bike's sitting. You don't.
You're not doing heels or like nothing changes.
Well, unless you do it.
Well, right.
You're supposed to go. Whatever. Sometimes I just do it just to see. Hey, I wonder.
But it has to be a manual thing.
Yeah, I wonder what Paris looks like. So I'll check it out.
Okay. Fair enough. So obviously there is some news today. Ole Miss will be without a couple pass catchers for the LSU game and for the impending bowl game, wherever that is. I mean, I'm assuming a Florida Bowl or the Music City, but whatever. The bowl thing is going to be kind of stupid. We'll talk about that or not talk about that or whatever. But Elijah Moore, Kenny Yeboah, both have finished their Ole Miss careers. Elijah, pound for pound, considering they only played 8 games, best season receiving in school history. I think that's fair to say right now.
Best one I've seen.
I mean, because he broke a couple of AJ's records anyway, and AJ played more games. So it's Pelahatchie? Really? It's not Pelahatchie? I just said it like it's phonetic, like the way it looks. Sorry. Mississippi has some weird ones like that. I mean, you can get down the wormhole pretty good on mispronouncing Mississippi towns and communities and whatnot. Sugar Lock and whatnot. So anyway, Elijah Moore, Kenny Yeboah. We were told by official channels that they were not earlier in the week. So sorry. I mean, you're
just trying to.
I'm not even really trying to poke. I'm just like, but in all honesty, I mean, we get asked about it, and we got to ask about it, and it's been a rumor all over town. I mean, you first heard it Saturday or Sunday.
I first heard it Saturday morning.
Yeah.
At first, didn't think it was right. And then I thought, there might be something to that. And asked about it Well, I'll tell you when I asked about it.
Okay. Pelahatchie. Oh, sorry. Okay. My fault. I'm just now getting Appalachian, so we'll move on and try something else.
I asked about it Tuesday at 8:02 a.m.
Okay.
I was told it was not true.
And kept hearing it all week. But again, when official sources say no, you just kind of you just kind of move on.
You know, the explanation that I've heard is that they were trying to keep it quiet against LSU. And look, fans will like that explanation. Media do not like that explanation. So it's from a media standpoint, it's pretty irritating. If I'm just being totally honest, I mean, I'm borderline pissed about it. So I got to. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Fans don't care. I get it. You know, I had something and would have been nice to be able to break that because Ole Miss certainly knew about it on Saturday, which tells me they knew about it before Saturday.
Sure. How did Leach pronounce Kosciuszko? How did he butcher that one?
I don't know. I've messed that up too.
Really?
Yeah, and like it's Corinth.
Corinth. It's Corinth.
I say Corinth because to me it looks like Corinth.
Yeah,
Pete says if you're landing McLean tomorrow, take a sip of bourbon. That's the other story that I'm a little irritated about, frankly. I'm kind of done with it. You're getting McLean to the best of my knowledge. I think you've already signed the other kid.
Oh, he finally admitted it today.
Did he?
Like 25 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was driving when I saw it. Hold on.
Okay. So we can punch that story up and make it live. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Would you like to do that?
Yeah. At this point, you're damn right. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's the actual ICC Twitter account that reported it.
Oh, okay. So
I'll take their word for it. ICC Athletics. Quay Davis confirms he has signed and is headed to Ole Miss.
Okay. Well, I'll make the story.
Hashtag Roll Tribe.
I'll make the story live right now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean the official ICC Twitter account is as good as anything, so we'll go with that. Well, Lane tipped his hand too yesterday by saying that he had signed 3 JUCO kids.
Yeah, I just didn't know what we were doing with that. I didn't understand.
Because McLean knew about Davis. So
of course. Because Florida State knew about Davis, so they told McLean.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So, there you go.
It's been one of the for a signing day that went pretty positive for Ole Miss. It's been kind of one of those weeks.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
So my friend Neal Forbes gave us the bourbon of the week, and this was one that we had earlier in the year.
It's the teddy bear one. Yeah, it's the Branchwater store pick.
Yeah. So the more I got into that bottle, the more I liked it.
Oh, really?
And when it was gone, I missed it, and so I went back and got another one.
Oh, did you really?
I did.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked what we expect. Look, I don't know. They could just go down the depth chart. I told Neal earlier today it wouldn't shock me if Ely gets split out a little bit and they do some things with him in space in the slot. It also would have let them give Henry Parrish more reps in the backfield and just see what that looks like. I mean, he's been pretty dang good for the most part, so they could do that. They could just play Dennis Jackson a little more. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, I will say this, Chase. Who is she?
Carissa Thompson.
Carissa Thompson.
Yeah.
She's very good. This is a great report she's delivering right now. I'm into it.
Knows all about the Chargers.
Sure. It's about to do a Justin Herbert story. Here's my boy. So, listen, there's some wide receivers in that room that are on the chopping block. I feel confident in saying
that's 100% true.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There's going to be some change. I know of one at least that is already kind of exploring because he's been told you probably ought to explore.
Sure.
So there's some guys are going to get an opportunity to say, "Hey, look, coach, I can do it. I can play." As for Yeboah, look, he's kind of, since people have figured out that he's not a good blocker, he's been rendered a little useless lately. Scouting reports got out. Film got out. He wasn't a good blocker, and so you knew when he lined up what was coming. I think that impacted what they did.
Mm-hmm. But Yeboah's been gone for a while, so.
Yeah.
As far as he was not coming back.
Yeboah was not going to come back.
As we said, no ill will, nothing. No, all good. He was a hell of a bridge right now when in Lane Kiffin's offense when he has to have tight ends. There's no doubt about that. How much weight's Hudson Wolf got to put on before he's ready?
Oh, not much.
Looks pretty ready.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
He looks the part. Matt Moscona and I were talking about this a minute ago, not on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the Chargers ever play with their uniforms?
Well, they just now brought the new ones back this year. Somebody should have been fired whenever they went from the powder to the navy back in the day.
But even now, they mess with the uniform.
Well, they just have a bunch, right? Remember, we talked about this earlier in the year.
But you have a basic uniform. Just stick to it. It works.
Probably. It's at least arguably the best uniform in the NFL from a sheer aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah. The powder
just
blue.
Straight.
Yeah, with the white pant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they mess with it.
They chose to get away from powder and go to navy at some point. Came back, but...
Barrett Ramia says, Neal, you want to go ahead and say who the mystery tight end is? I'll tell you, today was the first day that I got close.
You thought about it today?
I thought about it a little bit today. But anybody who knows me knows off the record means off the record, so I'm cool with it.
You kind of screwed up by going off the record. Because you've been hamstrung for a while now.
Yeah, I've been tied down on it. Everybody makes guesses, and I just look at them. For the record, nobody has guessed it yet.
Oh, they haven't?
Nope. Not to me.
Okay.
Pete Conroy says, is Stingley playing or did he opt out? Based on what Matt said a minute ago, I think Stingley's going to try to give it a go.
Is he? He's had a little injury for a while.
It feels like LSU has some guys that are like, hey, I'm done. Like if I'm Stingley and I'm not completely healthy, I'm not playing Saturday. Because I got to get ready for my junior year when I got a chance to be a top 3-4 pick in the draft.
Yeah, let's not do anything stupid.
I'm not tweaking something. So for the record, we talked about Elijah and Kenny. As it pertains to Kenny, whatever, I totally get Elijah opting out. He's worked his way into the first round of the draft, according to some projections. His offseason now is critical. He needs to have a great combine. He needs to have a great pro day. If he were to get hurt on December the 20th, that would all be jeopardized. I totally get it. I know a lot of fans don't get it. I get it completely, 100%.
And everything's so pushed back, too.
Yeah, in a normal year, the season would have been over 3 weeks ago, and he would have opted out of the bowl game anyway and would have been advised to opt out of the bowl game. Kids are going to opt out of bowl games that don't count for championships. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's just new reality now.
If you're a first-round draft pick and your team's not playing for a title, you don't need to play in the bowl game. Any coach would give you the advice, hey, don't do this. Christian McCaffrey, for example.
He started the trend.
He did, and his teammates at Stanford were almost relieved to know that he wasn't going to play. He made the trip, actually, to the Sun Bowl, and his teammates were like, he cheered on the sideline. A couple of his teammates made public comments that I'm glad he didn't play. He has nothing to gain and everything to lose. And Elijah has nothing to gain and everything to lose at this point. I totally 100% get it. I also understand why fans get upset, but I completely understand.
Yeah, with Yeboah, I just wonder if he made a decision too early because of some of the blocking and different things.
Could be.
He can end up being a bit of just a sad case of making a premature decision.
But this was a decision that wasn't made for this game. This decision
got made
weeks ago. Yeah.
He made a decision when he was still pretty hot that he couldn't take back.
Right.
So that's the deal.
No, look, it's opt out, it's quit, it's both words, it's whatever. But sometimes quitting.
It also depends when you do it.
Yeah, I get it.
Had you done it in week 2, you quit.
Yeah, if you opt out or quit in week 5 on your teammates, you quit. In this case, there's one game left.
Because here's the difference. It's not a COVID opt out. You know what I mean? It wasn't using COVID as an excuse to make sure you get your year back, but you quit on the year because they're struggling or anything like that. It's strictly NFL based. There's a huge difference there. Look, Elijah hung in through signing day. He hung in, and they've been all over the press and accolades and all that crap. He'll still get invited to the Blitnikoff Award ceremony whenever that thing is in the spring. All that kind of stuff.
And that might have played into it, too, when he realized I'm not winning it. Because Devontae Smith is probably going to win the Heisman, too.
You think so?
Well, I'll tell you this. I know of one voter.
You vote for Devontae Smith?
I'm so confused for the first time in a long time.
It's part of you just kind of want to vote for a non-quarterback just to vote for a non-quarterback because they always win the damn thing?
A little bit. You guys feel free to give me some advice in the stream. So it's supposed to go to the best player in college football.
Okay.
And this year, that's been Devontae Smith. Right?
That's true.
And then on the other hand, somebody has to throw him that ball. And Mac Jones has had a hell of a year.
Are you between those two?
Right now.
Who else is even really in it, though?
Honestly,
I mean, you can give a third-place vote just to get somebody invited.
My third-place vote today is either Kyle Trask or Najee Harris.
You're thinking about Najee Harris and going 1, 2, 3?
Had a hell of a year. Who else you putting in there? Can't be the kids at Ohio State. They haven't played enough games.
And it can't be the kid at BYU because they lost.
They lost. And it can't be.
Which is not fair, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It can't be the quarterback at Clemson, Lawrence, because he hadn't played enough. Ian Book. But Ian Book's just played his butt off, but you never watched him.
He's on a good team.
You've never watched him and gone, oh, man, that dude's tearing it up. I mean, so who is it? Grind says third place is Najee, and I sort of agree.
They could go 1, 2, 3.
I mean, this is going to be
that's never happened.
This is going to be really confusing for Alabama fans who believe that I hate them when I vote them 1, 2, 3 in the Heisman. Who's number one?
I mean, I do understand Florida would be really bad without Trask.
I think Smith
that's a valid argument.
Yeah. And I've thought about Trask. They didn't lose last week because of Kyle Trask. He's been really good. He's had a great year.
Kyle Pitts hasn't played enough. You're right, Mexican. Yeah, if Pitts had played the whole year and put up numbers, sure.
Yeah.
I'll play.
Oh, for sure. It's been confusing. I mean, I've looked at it a few times and thought, what am I going to do? Because I need to vote on Sunday. And I do try to take it seriously because it is an important award.
It is.
I'm leaning towards Smith. Matt could still win my vote by having just this monstrous game. But he's got to have...
Most of his throws are Devontae.
That catch that he made in Tiger Stadium against LSU was like, whoa, that's the difference.
That's a good point. They are without Jalen Waddle.
I know. And you could argue that Jalen Waddle's the most explosive player on their team. Their offense is phenomenal. And then Chris said today, and he's right on SEC Football and Beyond, I'll put it up in podcast form tomorrow, their offensive line, frankly, deserves the Heisman. Their offensive line might be the reason that Najee Harris doesn't win the Heisman. Because the holes he runs through, people look at it and go, well, hell, I could have run through that.
They want to know a number for the suckers.
500.
It was 500 last time. That's probably the answer.
They're over there.
Are they over there?
Yeah. I mean, I can go get them.
Been marinating all day, all season. I refuse to watch any YouTube videos or anything on them because I don't want to know. Just in case. I can't.
Did you see the Sarah Fuller practice video that got leaked out today? Where she was kicking the ball and it was hitting the deep snapper in the back? Yeah.
I didn't realize she was already transferring anyway.
She is?
Yeah, she decided a month ago. She's finishing her soccer career, getting a master's at North Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Let's see. I mean, I do love you, Sip. Yeah, I mean, there is lots of thank yous, but it is not the suckers is not the thank you you're getting tonight.
No.
I appreciate you, but no, sorry.
I'm going to get compensated for that. So let's see
end.
what uniforms we have. The Raiders wearing their traditional black on silver, which is a great look.
It's a great uniform game. It's not a great game.
No, it's not a great uniform. Not a
The
great
Raiders
game.
are still kind of in it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But that Raider uniform's underrated. The silver helmet, the black jersey, the silver pant.
Yeah.
Even the white jersey's fantastic. But the black jersey is classic. Sometimes I wish I were a Raider fan because I'd get that jersey.
Yeah. I've been to Corinth a lot. If you're about Mississippi, if you're about like something over in like the Roman Empire or something. No.
So this game's in Vegas in an empty stadium. Why's the stadium empty? You can go to the Strip and gamble.
In high school, we played in the high school baseball tournament in Corinth every year.
Crying says, "Oh God, my luck! She was going to transfer to Auburn." By the way, Grind, I love you. What we're about to do, so just hang in there.
What?
The Auburn search is on the precipice of
Well, look,
disaster.
Alan Green just can't make his mind up, okay? Alan's having a hard time. Alan can't figure out which direction he wants to go in. You know what I mean? He's got all this power. He's sitting here with all these options, and Alan goes to bed and goes, I don't know what to do.
Nope. So
He called Jimmy and told Jimmy to shut up and sit down, and he's making a decision.
they're having a full scale booster war. And now they've got a committee that's not a real committee. So the Chargers going white on white with the powder blue sock, white helmet, white top, white pant.
It's a great suit.
That's a great suit. There's nothing wrong with that suit. This is a strong uniform game.
Go ahead about Auburn. You're done.
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I still
So
think.
you don't think it's Kevin Steele?
No, I still think it's Kevin Steele, but I'm beginning. Look, once you so I use this analogy. Once you get to a place where you're like, okay, this is our guy. We've done all this stuff. We've raised the money. We're going to promote Kevin Steele, and they were going to hire Kevin Steele Monday night, and then you don't, and you start getting the what's it called, the Stop Steele, or I think they're having a hashtag. It went viral last night. Remember how Trump had the Stop the Steal?
Yeah.
They have a Stop Steal, spelled differently, of course, with his name.
Clever.
And yeah, it's clever.
So they're trying to do the Shiano, Tennessee thing.
Yeah,
They're trying to pull a Tennessee.
the Tennessee thing worked.
It did.
They stopped it.
I think they ended up hiring the worst coach, but sure.
Well, they would have been better off with Shiano.
Yeah.
And so here's Auburn. They were going to hire Steele. There's now talk about who Steele was going to bring in as his coordinators. He was going to bring in Bobo and Muschamp, is the rumor. And now that's not happening. And so once you start sliding down that mountain from we were going to hire you to, we're going to hire a committee and we're going to search. And you start sliding down. Can you regain your traction and get back up and hire Steele? The more you slide down, the more the answer is no.
So is there a timetable?
I mean, they play a football game in September.
Okay. Yeah, Neal and I were discussing Charlie Wood's swing for the show. It's okay. It's better than most 11-year-olds.
It's Stop the Steal. Is that what it is? I thought it was just Stop Steal. I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Stop the Steal. It's Avery and Tony say it, Stop the Steal.
It doesn't feel as psychotic as the Tennessee one yet. From a fan standpoint. No, the boosters are nut jobs.
Yeah. You always feel bad for the fans.
Well,
the fans don't.
I mean, like I said, grind. I mean, take an antidepressant. But, like, when Alabama for 13 years has gotten away from this and just done it the way that you have to do it, Auburn's sitting here still doing the country club thing. They cannot quit.
Georgia's doing the deal with Kirby, and he's not as good of a coach as Saban.
Nowhere close.
But nowhere close, but he has their program operating in this way.
And Auburn's still fighting between boosters. I mean, you're doing what Arkansas does. Think about that. That's what you're doing.
That's what
you're doing. What Arkansas does.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss got out of its own way.
No, I don't think Kiffin. Listen, I don't think Kiffin's a fit at Auburn right now.
He's not a fit at Auburn.
And I think he knows it, and I think they know it. I think his representation knows it. That's not the issues that Kiffin, frankly, has with Ole Miss and Oxford, he would have with Auburn and Auburn. They'd be the same thing, just different colors. Go from red and blue to orange and blue. Different shade of blue. Frankly, Kiffin's a better fit at Ole Miss than he is Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think that Bama reverts back, at least not with the next coach. They've seen this works. Now you got to make the right hire. But if you told me in 15 years they do because they make a wrong hire and then they get some stuff, yeah, I mean, sure.
All right, so I'll open phone lines because why the hell not?
You don't have a bunch of topics.
My brother's in the thread. He says, don't forget, I'm picking him up at 4:10 at the Memphis airport. No, I don't have a bunch of topics. Do you?
No.
Okay. So you think, by the way, I'll put you on the spot here. You think Tennessee, you've got a contact who tells you Tennessee's going to open up.
They have a chance to, yeah. I think Jeremy Pruitt is not safe yet. I do believe that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility. Should I go over to volquest.com and throw that in? Just see what they say. Hearing, ...
Please. Yeah, that would make me really happy.
Hey, Brent, sorry.
The email that I would get from the network. Hey, next time, please give a heads up that you're going to.
Well, y'all always say post the news on the board when you hear it, so I posted the news on the board.
You should notify moderators first.
Yeah.
Leave Pat alone. All right, phone lines.
Well, that's consistent right there. They are 25th in rushing, 25th in passing, and 25th in overall.
Steady. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Murphy up in Dayton.
Hey, what's up? What's the weather like in Dayton?
Cold as hell. And that's actually what my question's going to be. So, Neal, as you know, I've talked to you about the whole flag thing a few months back. And I was going to actually wait outside the UD arena with my flag as a thank you for being a part of, for Kermit and the team for being a part of getting the flag changed.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to wait outside. So I'm wondering, what should I wear to keep myself warm as I'm waiting outside for probably 2 or 3 hours?
Because you'll be out there. That's the game's at 1:30, so they get there at I guess it's 2:30 your time, so they're going to get there a couple hours early. Why would you have to get there a whole lot earlier than that?
To make sure that I can find a place to park. Because I'm not entirely sure if the UD Arena, because they're only allowing 200 fans in the stadium due to Mike DeWine. Like, no matter how stupid Taylor is, he's not as bad as Mike DeWine is when it comes to COVID.
I'm not arguing that.
So, like, he's limited an arena as big as UD, which is like 13,000.
Yeah, I've been there.
Only 300.
I've been there.
So, so I wasn't able to get tickets.
I can't tell you what to wear. I mean, you're an Ohioan. We're not, so you'll have to figure that out for yourself. I mean, the more layers and get some hand warmers, I guess, and do the best you can.
Oh, I didn't think about hand warmers. Oh,
hey, by the way, Murphy, they're telling me they can't hear you very well, so.
Oh, they can't?
The audio is bad, so we're gonna let you go. But hey, thanks for the call.
Some hot hands.
Thanks, man.
Grab some of those.
Hot hands work, man.
Oh,
I used hot hands. Carson's 2 games this week.
you know I'm a big hunter, so I've always
Yeah.
been always.
Did you get you a buck today?
No. I do have one mounted though.
Oh, did you kill a buck?
Back in the day.
Did you drink the blood and smear it all over your face and all that stuff?
I don't think I did the smear thing, but yeah, I do. I do have a buck mounted from high school.
How about that?
Yeah, my percentage is pretty good. I've been hunting like 5 times.
I had one of my high school coaches want to take me duck hunting, and I didn't go, and I probably should have. Probably would have led to even more playing time.
Oh,
Now that I think back on it, I should have just said, yeah, I'll go.
That would have been a good.
But I was like, I don't hunt, and I don't. Hey, who do we have?
Oh, this is Bennett from Oxford.
Hey, Bennett, what's up?
I was wondering who do you think is going to play slot this week? I was thinking either John Rice or maybe Jerry on.
If you told me Jerry on, I'd buy it. If you told me John Rice, I don't, because to this point, everything that we hear is that John Rice is, I'm going to be a quarterback.
I'm thinking, and here was my thing, I think this year, since you had to have certain numbers at each position, he stayed there and did not change position for that stipulation alone.
I don't think you would have wasted an ability to have a talented guy in another spot if he was willing to do it for that reason. I mean, you could have. He still could have played quarterback if somebody got hurt. I mean, you're not bound to the roster from that standpoint to be the backup quarterback. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like, hey, Corral gets hurt and you can only pick these different options. I mean, they could have put Royce Newman in if they wanted to. So I just don't think John Rice wants to do it. I mean, it's his decision. It is what it is. I think if they get creative and it's something unexpected, it's Jerry, and like you said. But I think, it is possible it's just Braylon and Dennis, and they do the best they can with it.
All right.
Anything else, Bennett?
I'm trying to think. I have one more. Bowling Green. That's my answer for the tight end thing.
It's not Bowling Green, but thank you.
Damn it.
All right.
It's a good guess.
It's not a bad guess. It's nowhere close, but it's not a bad guess. I mean, it's as good a guess as a lot of guesses. It's just not right.
I was innocent. Completely not guilty.
Well, take it up with the law.
Yeah.
So the phone lines are open. Had a number of people trying to call during that call. If
it doesn't work like that.
I could take a call and merge it, but it's a nightmare. But here
you're merging, they go in together, though.
Yeah, and that's not good. Hey, who do we have?
Hey guys, it's Jarrett.
Hey, Jarrett, what's up?
Not much. Just wrapping up dinner with the family.
What'd you have?
So we do the Hello Fresh deliveries, and tonight it was these like Asian meatballs with like a sauce that's like the firecracker sauce from Bonefish with rice and green beans.
Okay,
so it's pretty good.
Was it good?
It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, it's great. It's like probably the second or third time having that one.
If you're in a place where you only got 2 or 3 options, Bonefish is not the end of the world if you can order correctly. As long as you're aware that the fish is actually fresh.
We used to have one down here, and we would go and get like multiple appetizers and bring them home. It's kind of the thing we like to do. But they closed it and put some other kind of like touristy chain thing. Yeah,
from a fish standpoint, it's like just an upscale Red Lobster where it's like, hey, it's all coming off the boat. But if you can make do otherwise if you order something that could have been dead for a few days.
So you're telling me you think the mahi is actually mahi?
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it's not mahi.
Plus, too, down here when you're a quarter mile from the beach, you don't really have an excuse to go to a chain seafood restaurant.
Well, that's true.
But anyways, so it's kind of disappointing news about Elijah. I get it. I agree with what you guys were saying earlier. Like, I understand why Elijah would do what he did, and given the option, I would probably do the same thing if I were in his shoes. But man, it just kind of sucks, like, as a fan. So I was really excited to watch that game, and I was making special plans for Saturday because the Air Force Army game, which is obviously a big deal to me, kicks off 30 minutes prior to the Ole Miss game. So I was making special arrangements to make sure that I could watch both at the same time. And now I'm like, well, I don't really care to watch the Ole Miss game because it's pointless without him playing. I mean, do you guys think Ole Miss even has a shot to win that game without Elijah Moore?
Yeah, sure. I have a shot. I mean, because I don't know. LSU's been awful on defense, and I don't know what LSU's going to do.
I mean, they could have 4 opt-outs in the secondary too. I mean, everybody's just limping in here from a player standpoint.
Yeah, I don't know what LSU's going to want to do or what they're going to be or anything. I'm working with the sound.
It definitely reduces the confidence a lot, right? I mean, You felt pretty good about it before.
Sure. I guess so.
And now you're kind of like, eh. And so, and then the other thing about it that just kind of irks me, and again, like, I'm not trying to criticize the kid. I totally understand what he did. Given the situation and being allowed to do the same thing, I would do it too. But that being said, it's kind of like, look, man, we gave you a scholarship to play X number of games for us. And you're just kind of being like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So it would be like me as an attorney, if you hired me and you're like, okay, you're going to hire me to go to trial on this case. And my win-loss record in trial is really important to me. And so right before on the eve of trial, I'm like, man, there's a decent chance we're going to lose this trial. And I was like, you know what, guys? We're not going to trial.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. So Elijah has worked his way into the first round of the draft. If he gets hurt against LSU and it stops him from being able to have a normal offseason, he's not going to get drafted in the first round. And if he drops to, say, the fourth round, it's going to take him an entire 4-year career in the NFL to get to a second contract to make up the difference in the money. I get it. I totally get it. I do. The whole scholarship thing. I can't do that.
Great point before
I can't do the scholarship thing.
Not worth to Elijah what it is. So, like, if I go to a scholarship for law school, that scholarship is worth a lot to me because I'm going to be a lawyer. But I don't know what Elijah's major is, but whatever it is,
well, it's football. Right now, his major is football, and so he wants to go to the NFL, and that, like he wrote today, that's been his lifelong dream, is to make the NFL, and he's put himself in position to get drafted on the first night of the NFL draft and get guaranteed money that he can't make as an accountant or something right out of college. Well, listen, this is coming. Let me tell you what's coming in college football for draft-eligible players. Like Chase talked about Stingley a little bit. What's coming is about 5 weeks into your junior year, you go, all right, I've put it on tape, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, and I agree with you that's coming. And so, a lot of people have been talking lately with all this craziness that's going on with the playoffs, how, the playoffs has kind of messed up the regular season a little bit for college football because, let's be honest, like this is kind of evidence of, like you said earlier tonight, like if they're not playing for a championship, like why would you even play? And so then it just kind of cheapens the whole thing, and you have all the kids opting out. So here's the question. So do you think if there was some kind of meaningful compensation during the time that they're in college, would that curb some of this? Because I want to be honest, like
maybe
if this becomes a huge, like a really pervasive trend with like a lot of guys happening, it makes college football way less entertaining, right?
Well, prepare yourself. They're not. Again, once you've locked up a position, everything you do past that's a risk.
And Evan made a good point in the stream a second ago too. First round Elijah Moore is important.
For the call.
Is more important to Ole Miss than LSU Ole Miss on Saturday. Leaps and bounds.
Sure. Yeah, if you're Ole Miss, you want to be able to tell guys that, hey, we put another wide receiver in the first round.
So that would be like,
who do we have?
If you hired me.
Turn your device down. Who do we have?
Hello.
Hey, who do we have? Turn your device down.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All good.
Yeah. This is Mark. Corey Clark is the one who has sent me you guys' way. And by the way, I love y'all's show. But I'm kind of following up on the last question from the caller, and I did not get to watch all of it because I wanted to kind of cut it off. And so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But here's my thought on Elijah Moore. Wouldn't there be some coaches that would have said, you know what, you didn't end that season well. You kind of messed up. Therefore, no, we're not going to let you use this season to – I'm not saying that Lane Kiffin did anything wrong. I'm just saying where's the sense of loyalty? That's my question. Like, doesn't he owe Ole Miss to play your last game? That's my question.
Nah. NFL doesn't
Okay.
care. NFL doesn't care.
Well, fair enough. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks. I mean, I don't want to sound harsh, but the NFL doesn't care.
No, they don't care at all.
Not even a little bit.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when you go to the NFL, you walk in day one and the NFL stands for two things: National Football League and not for long. And you honor the shield, and you understand that it doesn't matter much for long. I love the Raiders uniforms.
Very simple.
Simple and just kind of perfect. There's nothing I would change about their uniform.
Carr's hung around for a while.
Yeah, he's just good enough to hang out.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Dan in Jackson.
Hey, Dan, what's up?
Hey, guys. How are you doing tonight?
We're good.
I'm just living the lifestyle still, and just took all my horses to the airport and told them I'd see them next year.
Okay.
Anyway, look, this is the best thing for Ole Miss, Elijah Moore. I mean, this is how you recruit. This is how you get players to come in. Look what we did with Elijah Moore in 1 year.
Sure.
Look at Yeboah as a transfer coming in 1 year, and he's going to the Senior Bowl. I mean, don't you think a transfer will come to that? Yeah, I don't blame him at all. This is exactly what he should do. As soon as you got that first-round grade, you've got to go. And, I mean, who would have thought this time last year Elijah Moore would be a first-round grade from Mel Kiper? Not one person.
Not one person. By the way, stay with us, Dan. Chase asked about the line. The line has jumped to LSU minus 2.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that's normal.
Sure, of course.
That's a pick 'em. And look, I think I do think you'll see Ely a little at the slot. I think you're going to see all kind of stuff. Why not?
Of course. Well, you're going to a bowl game. That's already wrapped up. It's a. Look, here's the deal. I was doing Matt Moscona's show in Baton Rouge, and Matt's great, and he was asking, what's this game mean to Ole Miss? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you win, right, you get a winning record, and you get to win in Tiger Stadium, and blah blah blah, and you get to bring home the big woodshop trophy, and it's all good. But on the flip side, I mean, if we're totally honest, if we put away all the emotions of it, right? Oh, he just pulled his growing muscle. God dang, that hurt just watching it. On the flip side, if you lose, what does it mean? Nothing really.
No, we've done everything we needed to do this year, including a top 20 signing day class. 3 weeks ago, if you would have told somebody that, they would have said you're crazy. I mean, we've done everything we needed to do. It's been really remarkable. Just like I told y'all last week, what a difference 365 days make.
Oh yeah, and hey, and listen, all jokes aside, Ole Miss kind of owes Elijah Moore for that.
You think? Yeah, we do.
I mean,
this kid. Look, we'll have another receiver in the league. I mean, it couldn't work. I mean, I'm telling you, this is Lane Kiffin here. If he's gone, Elijah Moore will still be in the NFL.
Just think of how sick you'd feel if Elijah Moore tore his ACL in the second quarter Saturday.
It would be horrendous. And the rain down there, it would be terrible.
I mean, come on. Look, I get every game's important to a fan. I get it's a rivalry game. Ole Miss is going to wear their traditional LSU uniform. LSU's going to wear their traditional LSU uniform. It's going to be It's going to
look awesome on TV.
It's going to look great on TV. It's at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. I get all of it. I do. I get all the emotion. I'm not belittling it. But I'm telling you, at 6:10 Saturday night, Ole Miss is where Ole Miss is, and LSU's got to go look in the mirror and go, we got a lot of problems, one way or the other.
That's right.
And so neither team's winning a championship. LSU's not going to a bowl game. Ole Miss is. It is what it is. I mean, it's a big game. It's a big game if you keep talking it up and making it a big game. In the reality and the whole scheme of things, it's not that big of a game.
It's not a big game.
Signing day's over.
No, it's not. Well, look, I would love for Elijah Moore to play as a fan, but look, these fans, I mean, it's not going to ruin your barbecue because Elijah Moore's not playing Saturday. He's going to be playing on every Sunday for 5 to 10 years, hopefully.
You don't think Tywan Malone's going to go to Florida State if they lose on Saturday?
No, I don't.
Hey, Chase, some of these guys do.
Well, and I don't want to. I'm always careful because I
know.
I get it.
Look, I get it because I'll watch. It'll be June the 13th, and I'm watching the Cubs in the third game of a 4-game series against the Phillies, where they've won the first 2 games, and I'm like, I go into the game going, "Hey, this is free." And then, this Cubs starter gives up 4 runs on 5 hits in the first, and I'm like, son of a bitch, and this whole day is ruined. I get it. I get fandom 1,000%, but when you back away from
I've watched Neal basically break his hand on a table in a bar in Nashville, so it's fine.
But look, Chase, Neal, look, if we want to be the program we want to be, and we're not going to be laying for national championships odds all. Who wouldn't like to? But we want to go to a New Year's Six bowl. This is going to happen to players if you're putting them in the league like you should be. We better get used to this. This is, just like you said earlier, this is the way of the new world. This is what you want to happen.
You absolutely need to be putting third-year juniors into the first round of the NFL draft. Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely. That's what Alabama does. That's what you have to do. You cannot – otherwise you might as well go join the middle of the rank of the Big Ten and – every fourth year have a roster full of fifth-year seniors that are great kids and play super hard, and God knows you love them, and they come super close against a couple of Big Ten teams, and they get to go finish their season in the Alamo Bowl or some shit. And you look up and go, oh, boy, I love these kids. And you do, and they're great, and they're awesome. And 10 years later, they come back for a reunion, and you stand up as you kick Central Michigan's ass, and you go, they're great. God, I loved that team, but they didn't do anything. So if your goal is to be a nationally relevant, competitive program, you have to have kids opting out in their junior years.
And they got to go. And that's right. And, hey, that Peerless is awesome, isn't it?
It is really good. It's like
I know it is. I bought a bottle when I was in Oxford.
It's one of my favorites.
Really good.
The store pick right there is excellent. I know the people who did it, I trust. That the normal Peerless gets a little overrated because it's so young, but that's good.
This is really good.
Yeah, no, it is good. Yeah. And then try Rabbit Hole too. The Rabbit Hole Rye is really good too.
Okay.
It's in Oxford. So, all right, guys, have a good night.
All right, Dan. Thanks.
See ya.
That's a good call.
Yeah, Carr's probably done for the night.
Yeah, he's done for a while.
You don't think it's just the night?
No.
You don't think it's pulled. You think he tore it?
I think any Christmas Eve plans that he had are ruined now. Hey, who do we have?
Hey guys, it's Rob and Rab.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, just hanging out on the back deck. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're good.
Lovely.
Been a little bit of a busy week.
No, not at all.
Not really. Just another week.
Just another week. I did call you the night. I've got to kind of vent about something, and it's really no one's fault. This is just life, kind of happening. So I'm down here on the coast, and I'm surrounded by LSU fans. I grew up around a bunch of LSU fans, so LSU is the biggest game of the year for me. This is going to be the third year in a row I'm going to be stuck at a wedding for the Ole Miss LSU game, and I'm not going to lie. That just, I never thought at one point in my life I would go to a wedding 3 years in a row instead of getting to watch. Because apparently the last 2 ones have not had TVs there.
Well,
so I had to kind of watch it on my phone.
In fairness to the wedding.
Now, the last 2, those are terrible
that's
people.
On them.
Those are terrible people. They don't have TVs. It's their fault. I wish them all the unhappiness.
Yes.
This one.
December the 20th, if you plan that way ahead of time, that's no one's fault. And they deserve a complete mulligan and go to the wedding. And at the end of the day, the wedding means a lot more than this game. It just does. So go to the wedding and hope that they find happiness or whatever the hell and move on with it.
They're good people. He's an Ole Miss alum, so I'm sure he's kind of upset about it, too.
He probably is.
It is what it is.
So they were, hold on, though. The other 2, like Mississippians, like Coast people, LSU, whatever, picked that date out for Ole Miss LSU and then threw a wedding.
Oh, God. That's...
But they probably booked it.
LSU people.
They probably planned it before they knew this was the game.
I'm talking about the first 2. He said it's the third year in a row.
Oh, well, those people are insane.
That's my point. The last 2 years.
They deserve all the misery.
The frustrating thing was last year was the crazy-ass Plumlee game where, LSU was up by, 20 points in the first quarter. So at that point, I quit looking at my phone. and about an hour and a half later, I'm getting my phone blown up saying, "Oh my God, you have to watch! You have to watch!" And I would miss every Plumlee run, but I would catch every time LSU would just go drive right down the field.
Yeah, I've done some Louisiana radio, and they keep asking about Plumlee, and that game was like 38-7 at the half.
That's what I'm saying. They were playing safe all game.
There was never a moment if you were honest, there was never a moment in the second half of that game where you thought, Ole Miss might win. Never. Not even one.
They cut it to 14 once.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's it. Yeah. And they still had to play defense. They were never winning the game. LSU just checked out.
Was the wedding on Saturday, by the way, always scheduled for the 20th, or was it pushed back because of the pandemic?
The LSU game was going to be on the 5th.
No, sorry, the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think they got engaged in the summer, and
Okay.
I honestly think they figured, shocker, that the pandemic would be over. But I don't think there's going to be
5 days before
there's gonna be
Christmas
tons
is
of
still a
people
little
that
weird,
don't go
but-
just because of the pandemic.
Oh, that's fair. Is it outside,
But,
inside, day, night?
Outside. It's going to be outside. It's in Bay St. Louis.
It'd be
It's
pretty good
gonna be
weather.
outside though, so
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be fine. I'm sure. I mean, if there's a bunch of older people wearing their masks, I'm gonna wear my mask as long as I'm sober. And then there's gonna come that point where I'm not sober, and I'm probably just not gonna think about it. But it's probably really irresponsible of me. But it is what it is.
Have you not had it yet?
Neal, I had an NBA question.
Okay.
So I've been keeping tabs on the Raptors preseason games, and I've never really paid attention to NBA preseason before, but Terrence Davis's first 2 games, he's dropped, I think, 15 points in both games. Do you think he's going to take a big step forward?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. He's got to deal with whatever suspension comes from the league first, but yeah, sure.
I mean, for a while there, it sounded like he wasn't going to have a shot in hell of playing in the league again, but as time kind of went on,
the Raptors,
I noticed
the Raptors believe in him.
Immediately cut him.
No, the Raptors believe in him, and I think they have listened, and I think they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, is what I've read. And I think he's going to face some sort of a suspension, but it's beginning to look like maybe it won't be that severe. And you hope that Terrence, for lack of a better word, has really learned a lesson here. I mean, I don't know what happened, and I'm a firm believer in innocent until proven guilty, and so I'm not going to convict TD. So I don't know what happened or what. I know what allegedly happened. I don't know what actually happened. He's going to face some punishment, and hopefully he's learned from it. I can tell you he's playing in an organization that takes that stuff pretty seriously, and the fact that they still believe in him and they're playing him is probably a really good sign for him.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what he can do. If I guess that makes sense. They give him a suspension because I can't think of a NBA player that's really gotten away with domestic violence or whatever. But I did think it was kind of a sign when they didn't immediately cut him, because I remember when it first broke, it was like 5 or 6 charges, and I was like, oh, he's going to be done. And then it just seems like they've kind of waited and thought, which I wish a lot of teams would do that now. It just, in society, it's kind of quick to just be like, immediately guilty and don't let the facts come out. But I think they're definitely playing the wait and see approach. But that was it, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Mark.
Have you had the Knob Creek smoked maple? That sounds really good.
I have not. Yeah, the marketing team at Knob Creek, good job, because that does kind of it rings for you, doesn't it?
That resonates with my mind. I think, ooh, please.
Yeah,
Dax, thank you very much for the super chat. It says, enjoy some time off soon. We will. I think we're going to take.
Yeah, we don't know the schedule exactly, but it won't be much next week.
Yeah, we're going to take most of next week, if not all of next week off. To show you how locked into football Chris is, Chris was like, so next week I was thinking on Tuesday we would do this, and on Friday I'm like, dude.
Friday's Christmas Day.
I'm not doing a Friday or Christmas Day show. I just got news for you. I don't really want to do a Tuesday show.
You're gonna wake up, make a mimosa at like 7:45, and call it a day. I think that's the
I mean, my Christmas is pretty much locked in.
Yeah, grind call. We'll talk some Auburn coaching search.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey boys, how y'all doing tonight?
Bubba, how are you?
Just been gone for a couple of weeks.
What you been doing?
My son-in-law and I went to the Auburn LSU game with some friends, and I've been quarantined. We both got corona.
Oh, you got the corona. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, it's just a little short of breath. I'll be all right. My son-in-law, we were watching recruiting yesterday, and he's roll tide. Oh God. Anyway, he's up here from Sulligent. We're stuck up here. So
hey, can you ask him to get on the phone and talk to his mama?
To his mama?
Yeah, ask him to ask mama how much longer till the meatloaf's ready.
Oh Lord. Anyway.
Ask mama to tell us the
Mama! Mama!
But yeah, well, he's giving you hell, boy.
Yeah. Hey, Mama! Mama, catch Coach Saban on the phone right there, Mama. Do not hang up, Mama.
Oh, hey, he's making fun of y'all folks in Sulligent, boy.
Look, Mama makes a mean meatloaf, okay?
I bet she does. You love you some Coach Saban, don't you? Did you love Coach Shula too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's brainwashed. He played there, but he's been telling me how bad they're going to beat us after their recruiting class. Lanes can come bite him, I told him.
Coach Shula, how much longer till we going to throw the ball to the tight end? I just want to throw to the tight end some this Saturday against Arkansas, Coach.
Yeah, right. Oh, Lord. Well, I've been stuck with him. We're about to not try to kill each other, and 3 and 8 are gone. We've had Miller with us, but we've had one dog. My wife took the boys and left. She ain't been back. She said she'd be back, 5 more days or something.
Is that what you got left? Is 5 more days? Hey,
5 more days.
Diddy did not get the corona, did he?
No. He had his gallbladder taken out. He's all right. He's sitting up there, and he's convinced that Hugh Freeze is coming to Tennessee.
Well,
no.
I know. Yeah.
Come on.
Yep. But anyway, I don't think that's going to happen. But we had a hell of a recruiting class.
Yeah.
Great Ric Flair would say, "Woo!" But anyway, we'll call you boys later.
Okay.
Y'all have a nice night. You want to say anything, Clint?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Right.
Roll Tide.
You already know.
You already know it. Roll Tide. Go get him. Roll Tide.
Bye, boys. Night.
Roll Tide.
I know it was killed this year, but did they make a new rule in the running with the Gumps?
Yeah.
You don't have to walk now?
I think Saban
is it dying?
I think Saban can have no more.
He's finished?
I think Saban looked at him and said, if you do this one more time, I'm going to Texas.
It was one of our best podcast bits ever is what's going through his head as they're coming at him.
Mainly it's $11 million.
Yeah. Just
$11 million.
Smile and sign. Smile and sign. Smile and sign.
Dear Jesus.
Oh, God. That's a good question, Ryder. Is it an age thing? Like, what is the Alabama fan on comparing Saban versus Bear? Where are they sitting on this?
Saban's so much better.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
Are you really defaming the Bear?
Yes. Because the Bear wanted a time when you could truly stack the roster.
He signed every damn
I mean,
body.
Saban can't sign everybody.
Oh, who's in at quarterback for Vegas?
I didn't even look. Let's see. Number 8. Who's number 8? Is that Mariota? That's Marcus, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's right.
Oh, good for him. Everybody who knows him says he's a super guy.
Really?
Yeah. Total silence here on the pod for a minute.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, we're waiting for calls.
It happens on Thursday night.
Calls are open. Yeah, Thursday nights we're watching the game.
I'm still getting Ole Miss minus 2.5. Am I missing an updated line?
Well, make sure I'm not reading this right. No, I've got Ole Miss. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Even now, it's sitting at Ole Miss minus 2.5.
You're right. I apologize because it opened at LSU -2, and so my eyes tricked me.
It's flipped.
It's Ole Miss minus 2.5 still at this moment.
Yeah.
Why?
My last update was at 7:36, and it's still at 2.5.
Yeah. What in the hell?
Vegas has been stubborn since middle of the week.
Sammy, thanks very much for the super chat. He says, Neal, Chase, and Oxford Exxon Podcast, HRG family, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, blessed, happy, healthy 21. Thank you. Same to you, Sammy. Thanks for the cards. We both got our Christmas cards. Really appreciate that.
Yep.
It was very nice of you to think of us. All right, we got a call here. Let's see. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Bracken up in Nashville.
What's up, Bracken?
Hey, so got a group of buddies, and we were kind of talking. So in the SEC, with equal weight for each sport, which school do y'all think has the best combination of basketball, football, and baseball coaches in the conference right now? Because we were kind of talking, I think Ole Miss is probably top 3 or 4 in that category right now.
Oh, well, they definitely are.
Yeah,
There's
Ole
no
Miss
doubt
is
about that.
definitely. I mean, Alabama's got Saban, and what a throw that was! Wow, what a hell of a throw that was.
Baseball's a little behind for Bama, though.
Yeah, and I don't know that it matters because I think Oates is a really good coach and Saban's the best ever.
Yep.
So they're in the mix. Florida's got Mullen, White, and who's the baseball
O'Sullivan.
coach? So they're up
good.
there. They're up there.
And then maybe A&M.
Fisher, yeah.
Childress,
yeah.
though, I mean, they're a hell of a program. I'm not a crazy Childress fan from a coach standpoint, but yeah, I mean, you got to include them.
Well, because Buzz is really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, Buzz is good.
That's a damn good question. But
Barrett,
I mean,
Barrett, I don't even know that name, so I can't. Whether I'm blinking or not, it's not him.
Oh, we doing tight ends still?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if someone guesses it, I might give it away.
I don't think so. Right?
It's not Vanderbilt, though. Corbin's an elite baseball coach, but everything else sucks there.
Yeah,
everything else there's a total disaster.
I mean, nothing else is just sticking out to me.
So Kentucky's got Calipari, who's great. Stoops, who's fine. Who's their baseball coach? What's his name?
Mingione used to be the assistant at Mississippi State.
So
it's fine. He's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, there's not some crazy thing because, Van Horn is one hell of a baseball coach.
LSU's got Orgeron,
Maneri, but Orgeron's the problem.
And Wade.
Now, honestly,
Arkansas is not in a terrible spot.
So Arkansas's got Pittman, who's
Van Horn.
Van Horn, who's very good.
Damn good.
And Musselman, who's really good. I mean, I watched an Arkansas basketball game the other day. They're good. They're legitimately good.
And I like Rick Barnes as far as basketball. If Tennessee has a better football coach, they're up there. Because look, the ceiling is low, but Tony Vitello is one hell of a baseball coach.
By the way, we haven't talked about it much, and it's still a little early because it's 4 games, but I actually think Ole Miss is a contender in basketball.
Do you really?
Because they're that good on defense. They're historically good on defense. And
I agree with that. They're elite. I mean, they've got guards that can guard at a really high level, and Romelo's given you what you thought he would and more at this point.
Got to
so
shoot
if they can get some more scoring from
got to shoot it
Burrell,
better.
Joyner, perimeter, absolutely. Shooting from the perimeter is the issue right now.
Arkansas is really good.
So do you think they're one shooter short? I mean, what is the perimeter?
They just got to have some guys start making some shots, and then let's see what happens. They're pressing a little right now. I tell you what they're getting. 2 out of the last 3 games is Luis Rodriguez is giving them actual offense in addition to defense.
Yeah, he's their 3rd guy from a scoring standpoint at this point.
And he can't be that. He's got to be their 4th guy. So to answer Chase's question, they're a shooter short.
Right.
But they're really good on defense.
Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Bracken.
See ya.
Yeah, I think Romello White's been a decent addition. I think it probably was worth the scholarship
he's a
there.
Stud. Devontae's played really well. Jarkel played better last night. Jarkel Joyner was better. They're good. We'll see. It's still early. James Loyal says Robert Allen's a huge pickup. He's actually given them really good numbers. Morrell did some things last night that made me think maybe he's going to get going quicker. He's just 4 games in. Chocho Porter says, please settle a bet for me. Simple yes or no will suffice. Did Hugh Freeze call a service on a game day? Yes.
Yeah.
He did. So if you bet yes, you win. If you bet no, you lose.
We're not elaborating.
Nope. I'm stopping there.
Yeah.
It's not Quentin Morris. I don't know who the hell that is.
I did see where whatever his name is, the psycho Twitter basketball guy said that about Ole Miss, still the only school to not allowed more than 60 points in the game so far this season. You retweeted it.
It's the first time they haven't.
It's 44-45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
I didn't know they played basketball back then.
Vandy was probably great. You know, in football, they just
I
ran
bet they
through
were.
people in the 10s
I bet
and the 20s.
Vandy ran some weave or something. Killer Cam says, I think I just died. I think this might be Grind right here. Hey, who's this?
Hello?
Hey, is this Grind?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? What's happening?
Just, dying slowly.
If you go to like the official fan shop, do they let you put steel across the back of an Auburn football jersey, or do you have to get somebody
Chase,
else?
Man, we're 1 week from Christmas. Be nice to our friend Grind. It's 1 week now. 1 week from right now, Santa's going to be making his trip. You need to back off.
Oh boy, the football guys pulled a fast one on me, man. They did, man.
The football gods are brutal
yeah, man,
right now.
They told me for Christmas, hey, for Christmas, Gus Malzahn's going to get fired, and my eyes got big. And they told me, but you're going to get Kevin Steele.
It's like a real life SEC short.
God.
That's what it is. Like, you get one wish. Boom. Here we go. All right.
You come back and go, can I have 2 wishes? So what?
I was like, oh my goodness. And man, the stuff that I've been hearing and just been reading on message boards I'm disappointed if that's true, that basically the plan for Steele from the powers that be has been in work since 2018, which is just like.
So I read that.
No sense.
I read that. Do you believe it?
Man, somewhat, yeah, somewhat. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say there's a 0% chance that was happening. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Well, that's
there
true.
is some percent chance that in 2018, with the whole regression of Jerry Stidham and all that stuff, and that's just why it's just like, man, that's why it's just everything. It just frustrates me, with everything that's going on between the top to our fan base right now. Because I'm trying to be the guy that's at first I was trying to play it cool, when everybody was like, it's gonna be Steele, and I was like, maybe Steele not gonna be that bad, and then it was just flames at me, and so I was like, okay, well, never mind, and so it don't make any sense though. Why? Because Mario Cristobal obviously hasn't didn't fall through, which was a guy that I wanted, but he wasn't a guy that once Oregon threw $5 million at his face, then you can walk away from the table. Mario ain't that type of guy.
Yeah, so I can fill you in a little bit on Cristobal. He was interested, but not really interested, because Cristobal, whether he's right or wrong, good or bad, he believes he's in the mix to replace Saban at Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I believe too. I think that there's some coaches out there that's looking at that Bama job and trying to position themselves, trying to get themselves in the best position possible for when that opening happens.
Yeah, well, he's on their short list for sure, and he went from being the, I think, second least paid Pac-12 coach to the third most Pac-12 coach, most paid Pac-12 coach in this week. So he got what he was looking for.
He was that low?
Yeah, he was low.
Really?
Yeah. He was making $2.5 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah, and they bumped him to 5. So he's making coin now. And
plus, and then all the Oregon fans had to come out to the Auburn message boards to say how much private money Phil Knight's getting, Nike money, so he would never come to Auburn and whatever. So, but I mean, as of right now, I think Napier would is the best option that's on the table right now.
Well, so
in my opinion, and I mean, some people saying Luke Fickell But I just think, I don't know how well he'll fit in the South.
I don't know that Luke Fickell will take it. And it's not because it's Auburn. It's because it's the South. I think Luke Fickell has his eyes on – well, number one, he has his eyes on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And number two, he has his eyes on a couple of Big Ten jobs that are realistic. I mean, Michigan is a realistic option for him. Luke Fickell's a Midwest guy. I mean, Luke Fickell's a Catholic.
But Notre Dame, they're not going to get rid of Brian Kelly, are they?
No, they're not. But there's some rumors that Brian Kelly still is intrigued by the NFL, and the NFL's intrigued by him. I'm just telling you that Luke Fickell wakes up every day and thinks, if today's the day I go to Notre Dame, this is a great day. That's the job he wants. So, I mean, maybe he would take Auburn, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. I'm pretty sourced on this. Luke Fickell's real serious about the Midwest and Notre Dame and all that, and that'd be a tough pull. The interesting thing with Auburn is that I was told today, Chris Landry told me that Tom Allen would leave Indiana for Auburn and would absolutely go, and that Auburn's not interested. And I'm like, wait, why? And so I look at Auburn, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And so you have this booster thing that's going on, the two boosters, Harbert and Rain, and they're going at each other. Yeah. And they're going at each other, and quite frankly, they're at risk of turning it into an absolute circus quick.
You are not lying, man. You are not lying. And that's the thing, like, and see, I'm gonna be pissed if it's still, not because of the fact that it's still, but the fact that, that you tried to play the fans with some little fake search. Like, if it was going to be Steele, and that's who that's who it was going to be from the end of the day, no matter what, you should have went ahead and named Steele so our recruiting wouldn't have fell apart like it did.
Well, they were going to name him on Monday night, Grind, and then the whole booster thing got involved with Harbert. Harbert didn't want it, and so he got to, is it Gouge? Is that the university president's name? He got to Gouge, whatever, however you say his name. And so he did the committee, and the committee is stacked with Jimmy Rain people.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they're playing games.
Yeah.
They're absolutely playing games with one another. And so now you get to, it was Thursday night, so they're going to get to at least Saturday, which is going to allow them to pretend at least to talk to other people. So you got Billy Napier comes open. You got Jamie Chadwell comes open. They have no – Auburn, according to everything I'm told, has no taste whatsoever for Hugh Freeze, does not want to go down that road.
And then, man, did you see where Auburn fans had said, had replied to – I forgot who it was, but had replied on Twitter and said, we don't want Hugh Freeze. And then he replied and said, good.
Yeah, so Chase
it was a kid. I mean –
I was like, wow.
Well, and that moment should tell you everything. It's those of us, the people like us who fight back the Freeze thing and they think that we just hate Hugh or whatever. It's not that. It's just that we tell people all the time, this Hugh Freeze at a place like Auburn or LSU, any place that has a lot of media covering them, it wouldn't work. I'm just telling you, it would not work. Too many eyes, too many fans. Mm-hmm. The fan base is too vocal. I'm just telling you, like, let's make, for just kicks and giggles for a minute, let's make Hugh Freeze the Auburn football coach, okay?
All right.
And then Auburn plays week 4 at Mississippi State.
Sure.
Just coming up with something. And for whatever reason, the quarterback has a Matt Corral at Arkansas Day and throws 6 picks. And Auburn loses 32-19. Whatever. Pick a score. I don't give a shit. Okay. Whatever. In the whole scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. It was one game. It happened. Hugh Freeze is the guy that's going to get on Twitter, and when the people are saying, Hugh Freeze sucks, he's whatever, he's the guy that will literally get on Twitter and throw his quarterback under the bus. On Twitter.
Wow. No.
Not publicly. I mean, not privately. Not where you call the quarterback in and show him the film and go, hey, dude, this is unacceptable. Publicly, because
I've never been a Hugh Freeze fan. I don't know if y'all ever checked in the chat, but I never been with Freeze. Just not a guy that I think is. See, man, like I feel like Auburn is good enough to where, like, the reason why I wanted Cristobal so much is because one, he's a great recruiter, hell of a recruiter, and his main specialty is one of our weaknesses, which is offensive line. And if he can which is why, what's been killing us, because Georgia's just been racking up and Alabama's just been racking up and Clemson just been racking up.
Yeah.
There's been all the offensive linemen in the area. And so, it's been leaving us with these projects which fail Gus. Like, Gus can't run his offense. It don't matter. Like, people say he needed a dual-threat quarterback. He needed this. That man needed the offensive line. That's what he needed.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
And you remember when I called you in after the Georgia game, and his starting offensive tackle grade was an 8. Like, bro, it don't matter what you got at quarterback, unless you just gonna have that tackle do a dummy block, like with Nick Marshall, somebody who can create magic, which he obviously couldn't recruit again. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but he did an interview, I guess, some years ago, where he actually admitted to his biggest mistake was not offering Lamar Jackson, and how different the program would have been if, after Nick Marshall, Lamar Jackson and Jeremy Johnson would have battled out for the competition, and then, Lamar Jackson would have been the starting quarterback in 2015 instead of Jeremy Johnson. And I mean, that would have changed his program. And it's just small stuff like that. His ability not to identify talent, his ability to not, when he does see the talent, not to recruit it to Auburn and, build up a roster. If you see all these talented running backs that's been left, you see Asa Martin, you see Harold Joyner, now Mark Anthony Richards. It's just everything, which is why he needed to leave. Like, he needed to go because he was mismanaging a very, in my opinion, like I always say in the chat, a top 10 program.
So who are you hoping for, Grind, at this point? Who are you hoping for? Not realistic, but whatever. Who are you hoping for?
I got to do more of a deep dive, but just from the surface right now in Napier. Just because, he checks most of the boxes. Yeah. And the only thing about Napier is that is what I wish he would have did is, hold on, who's the head coach at Wake Forest? Is that Dave Clawson, or is I'm thinking about somebody else?
That's still Clawson, isn't it?
Is he still there?
I think so.
See, that's the only thing I don't like about. I would rather get a guy who went to a lower P5 school and did something with it than a guy who's at a G5 school and was able to separate himself a month from the, that little, trash and stuff like that. Like, for instance, you see what, Mike Norvell at FSU, I think Mike Norvell will be okay, but in my opinion, he's going to end up being like their Gus without the highs. I see him being a consistent, three-loss program, even in the division where you have Wake Forest, Boston College, Syracuse, but that's who I want. I want Napier. But I was going to ask y'all, man, in y'all opinion, can you name 10 programs better than Auburn? Right now.
Programs in terms of their ceiling?
Yeah.
Just today?
Like today. Like today, when you take in what they've done in the past, since I say, in the modern area, I always start the modern area at 1980. So I get, from 1980 to now.
Ooh, 80 is 40 years.
All that included. Or however far back you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, today, if you said, hey, you're a prospective coach and you can have any job in the country, which ones do you want? It's Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah, it's 5 in the SEC that's better than all.
Yeah, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, Ohio State.
You want A&M or Auburn?
A&M.
Auburn. But my thing is, program history tells you that you'll win more at Auburn than you will at A&M. And the only reason, we don't know what A&M success, what the height of A&M is when the Texas is good, because Texas will figure it out. We don't know what the height of what A&M is when Texas is good. We know what Auburn can do when Alabama is rolling. In this dynasty of Alabama, Auburn still has 3 division championships, the second most of Alabama in the SEC or in the SEC West, and still been the 2 natties in that same time period. So, I mean, you can say A&M, but in that same instance, if Texas is rolling, we don't know what A&M looks like.
Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing: you talk about this is the program thing. When in 3 years, when the SEC gets this massive contract, I mean, I'm like, okay, outside of the SEC, who would I rather coach? Ohio State, Clemson,
Oklahoma,
and after that, I don't know.
It starts getting a little weird.
It's a little weird, man, because I don't like the whole Pac-12 thing. I don't know.
You might knock out the whole conference.
I might knock out the whole league. And
really?
Yeah, with the money. And if the money.
Who would be the one? Would it be SC?
Yeah, I guess.
Y'all don't think SC and Oregon are, nice goofy jobs?
Oregon's the one where I kind of go, maybe, but is that...
These SEC programs are going to have so much money that outside of Vanderbilt and Kentucky because of geographics...
It's Kentucky.
The SEC jobs are great. I mean, you can be at a place like... seriously, like a place like even Ole Miss or South Carolina and suddenly have SEC money? You can do anything you want.
Well, what hurts South Carolina is the fact that, and see, like that's how Clemson is. Like, I don't understand how Clemson is just not being a power. When you, like I said, when you're in a division with Pittsburgh, Louisville, Wake Forest,
they're in a they're suddenly a power because they've invested in it. I mean, that's why. I mean, their network is powerful, and then they have these incredible facilities, and they got lucky on the Dabo thing, and to their credit, and it worked out.
Yeah, I'm reading from the chat about people putting their stuff in. Notre Dame, you can make the argument, but I don't know.
I think you're seeing how good of a coach Brian Kelly is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's no way I want Florida State more.
No
way.
No. Just because they won under Bowden doesn't.
Man, people. Yes. The money.
Texas when it's rolling is Texas, okay, but when is that?
They haven't rolled. When they rolled one time with Vince Young as the quarterback and Mac Brown,
and they played for one since then. Bama beat Colt McCoy in a final.
Okay, Mac Brown, but we're Mac
Brown.
But we're Mac Brown, and Mac Brown's winning at North Carolina. So at some point, you got to go, hey, maybe possible that Mac Brown's a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but I mean, who else has won at Texas in the modern era other than Mac Brown? Fill in that blank. I mean, I'm all ears. I mean, Texas is not recruiting the best kids in Texas. They all leave.
Yeah, they're going to Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Yeah,
they're going everywhere. I mean, they're going everywhere. They're not going to Texas.
Oh, Clemson. We forgot Clemson.
Well, I mean, I included Clemson, but Clemson's kind of that whole deal too. With
Clemson's new money, man. That's such new money.
Yeah, but they're smart with the way they do a lot of things. The way they do academic recruiting is really smart. The way they do fundraising is really smart. Clemson as a university is very smart.
Yeah, they started the whole IPTAY and everything.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm telling you, if you told me in 4 years that the 10 of the top 15 programs are in the SEC, I'd buy it.
And man, let me ask y'all before I get off the phone, man. What's Tennessee doing?
Well, I mean,
they're going to get a ton of pressure to hire Hugh Freeze. A ton. The same group that ran off Shiano is going to be for Hugh Freeze.
I know.
I'm just telling you. It's going to be real.
I know you're right.
I'm not saying they're going to hire him, but there's no doubt.
Hey, Neal, I saw your mailbag, and I agree with you that Ole Miss can get 9 wins because I saw their schedule.
Yeah.
And Tennessee Tennessee people, they marking Ole Miss down as a dub, but they don't live in the West, so I don't think they know what's coming for them. But yeah, I think Ole Miss is set up. I think Ole Miss is set up to be nice, and I think Auburn is too. But we have to nail this guy because we have to have a stellar class next year, or we're gonna have a hole. We're gonna have a hole.
Yeah, because you're not going to have one this year, apparently. Yeah, so you can recover from 1 year, but if you have 2 back-to-back, suddenly you have this gap, and it's hard to
you put yourself on probation.
It's hard. Exactly. Hey, Merry Christmas, Brian.
All right, Merry Christmas to y'all too, man.
Bye. I love the conversation about programs because that's that whole thing of 20 years ago, like when I was 20 years old. Well, that was 30 years ago. God bless. Nebraska was right there.
Yeah.
Hey, top programs, Nebraska.
Tennessee.
Not today. Just because you were.
But if you're given one or the other, you really would pick Auburn over Texas today?
Yeah.
I have a hard time.
Money.
I mean, Texas has money.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
Second highest
but
budget in the country.
Who's had more success over the last 30 years, Texas or Auburn?
It's right there.
It's Auburn.
Texas has an easier road.
Well, yeah, but they haven't been able to navigate it.
Yeah.
Oklahoma kicks Texas's ass on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, caller, hang on real quick. Here's the next question.
Sure.
What does conference realignment look like in 3 years when the Big 12 grant of rights expires? Because if I'm Oklahoma, I'm looking at this landscape and going, we're out. We're tired of playing Baylor. I'm tired of playing Texas Tech. I'm tired of playing Kansas.
West Virginia.
I want my money. We're Oklahoma. We're a big brand. We show up, our OU and our traditional helmet, we're a big brand. Because if you tell me that Oklahoma got into the SEC, I mean, no joke. Oklahoma's coming to Alabama. That's a big game in Alabama. Oklahoma's coming to Ole Miss. We're hyping that shit for a week.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's going to Auburn. Locked in. Oklahoma, LSU. Are you kidding? That's a big-time rivalry. Bang. Drop of a hat. If I'm Oklahoma, I'm like, hey, we have gravitas. I'm not staying in the Big 12. If I'm Oklahoma, in 3 years, I'm convincing the SEC to let me in.
Ooh, Travis has answered the last super chat. What do we miss up here?
Hey, who do we have, caller?
It's Killer Cam.
Hey, Killer, what's up, man?
What's going on?
We're just chilling.
I agree. I do agree with you with Oklahoma. I mean, I'm trying to get in the SEC 3 years ago.
Well, I think they kind of were.
Yeah, when I even like in 2013 before Texas, just like, I mean, they really wasn't never really just great, but they were still Texas. They were still riding the 2009 championship appearance, whatever, Colt McCoy. But instead of Missouri, I'm like, hey, we're Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, Grind makes a great point. There's a natural thing here. Auburn moves to the east. Oklahoma joins the West. Maybe you add one more team. You renegotiate. There's so much money to be had. I'm telling you, there's a part of me that wonders if Texas begs to get in. Now A&M's going to say no. Hell no.
Oklahoma makes more sense than Texas.
Yeah, Oklahoma, LSU. You don't like Disney just signed this big deal. Yeah. You don't think ABC would be? Yeah, we're in on Oklahoma LSU at 7:00 on Saturday night,
and we'll throw some more money in now that you have Oklahoma.
I mean, seriously,
the deal changes.
If you're Disney and you're like, yeah, we get Oklahoma, Alabama on Saturday night. Yeah, we're in. Check. I mean, hey, you got to start thinking that way. What gets eyeballs?
Yeah.
I mean, who's not watching Oklahoma, Alabama on October the 13th on a Saturday night? In this part of the country? Come on. Every damn TV and every TV's on it. And we might all bitch about it like, oh, yeah, but Oklahoma on the big game again. But Oklahoma gets ratings. Alabama gets ratings. Oklahoma, Florida on a big day? Come on.
Yeah. See, I'm from Meridian, but I go to school in Dallas. So it's like the landscape out there is completely different. Like if you're an hour outside of Austin, there's really not even that many Texas fans anymore. It's Oklahoma, Texas A&M. And that's where everybody goes is Oklahoma. If you're like from Waco up.
Yeah. Well,
Oklahoma,
I mean, not to get
whoever don't go to Oklahoma, Baylor, and then like East Texas goes Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, I mean, not to get political here, but like I was reading a tweet today, and I can't remember, it was about several major corporations are leaving California and going to Texas. Mm-hmm. So they're going to bring people in that have no ties to Texas. And so Texas is going to become, in many ways, demographically a lot like Florida, where the people that are growing up in Florida, they're not tied to Florida Gators or the Seminoles or whatnot. Yeah. They're from different places, so you're going to have all sorts of demographics there. That's one of the reasons that schools go into Florida and have incredible recruiting success.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you start getting those kids, and then the Dallas kids. I mean, Ole Miss has a pretty good presence in that area anyway.
Yeah.
Cedar Hill, some of those areas.
Well, I mean, Dallas, the Metroplex is one of our top 10 markets every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they start seeing more and more and more. The SEC reaches in. They're already reaching in with Texas A&M, but some of them people still think, oh, Texas A&M, blah blah blah, Big 12, blah blah blah. You add another one, and you start reaching farther. Like the SEC's already big in the Southeast, and it starts reaching there, and it starts expanding. It's just going to be a takeover, and
I mean, it's already the best conference, but it just gets unreal. And then maybe like your wife said, maybe just Alabama just goes on up to the NFL and everything's better in the West for everybody.
You know, so Laura has kind of become an Arkansas fan over the last 2 years, and she's got this Arkansas shirt that she wears all the time, and she puts it on Saturdays. It was like 45-3, and I was screwing around with the kids, and I was like, hey, the Hogs are kind of running out of time for their comeback today. And she's like, shut up. And then you know, it's she goes, maybe Alabama just should go to the NFL. And the more I thought about it, I went, you know, you're kind of onto something. Everybody on that damn roster is going to play in the league in a year anyway.
TV markets, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, right there with everybody else.
Why not just make them the next member of the SEC? She goes, why not just let them go to the NFL and let everybody else play? And I thought, you know, it's not the worst idea.
And if we push Alabama to the NFL, then out of nowhere you hear Saban say, I'm not going to be the next coach at Miami. And then he ends up in Miami.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, did we go ahead and we push him on up? I mean, hey, we get rid of Saban, knock out two stones, and then Kevin Steele is automatically just the king of Auburn. And then he's just the king of Alabama.
It's amazing. We talked about this the other day. I lose track of days. I think it was Tuesday. Chase and I were talking about the impact of Nick Saban on this league is dramatic. You can hate Alabama, whatever you want to do, but the impact of Nick Saban on this league.
The head coach of arguably the second best program in the league copies him and tries to act like him.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, that's what's happening.
Yeah,
I get it's more complicated than that.
Kirby tries to be Alabama East.
Yeah. Including getting out of his own personality to try to copy Nick.
And he takes it, it's like I said, he takes it too far. And then when he's just Kirby, then he's fine.
You see through it. You see through it with Kirby. You see through it with Drinkwitz. Just be yourself.
It's what Kiffin has learned. Just be him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And LSU fans, they must not remember Glenn Dorsey and all those guys. Saban won you two national championships. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
In fairness
to LSU, deep down they know it. They know that if they could have kept Saban for 20 years, what Alabama is what LSU would be.
Oh, why do you think LSU hates Alabama so much?
Of course, that's why. I get it. I'd hate too, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I hate LSU just as much.
It's watching the girlfriend that left you go to the guy and everything goes just absolutely roses. You hate everybody.
Yeah, your supermodel girlfriend goes to the town drunk at the time and he just picks it up, and now he's the mayor.
And now he's running for president.
President.
He's running for president. Yeah, he was the town drunk who's now just got the whichever party you want it to be, Republican or Democrat nomination, and it's probably going to win. That's Saban.
Yeah. Hey, I just got one more thing.
All right, Killer.
Grind. I know you listening. We're trying to flip you, man. Come on, Merry Flipmas, man. Come on to the red and blue, man.
All right, thanks, Killer.
Trying to Grind's pretty locked in.
Trying to flip Grind from Auburn to Ole Miss. I don't like the chances, but
yeah,
I mean, I admire the effort. I do.
As Kiffin said, committed doesn't really mean much. Just shows you where the challenge is. So that's where it's at.
Hey, who do we have?
I got him.
Who's this?
Yes. Hey guys, I was going to call. I watch y'all all the time. I was going to ask y'all what y'all think your chances are. I just got on the phone. I'm in Knoxville, Mississippi native.
What's your name?
My name's Sean.
Okay, Sean.
And
S-E-A-N?
Yeah. S-E-A-N.
All right, gotcha.
Yes. Just like Sean Connery.
Gotcha.
Look, I was going to ask y'all. I think I'm way behind on my YouTube. What do you think the chances are, since we don't have those two stud receivers down at LSU this weekend?
Without the receivers, what are the chances?
Yes.
Less than they were with them.
For sure.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, look,
I still think weather is more important than personnel.
Yeah, it's We're talking about a lot of rain down there. The rain
Not
works
good
in
for the
LSU's
Rebels.
favors.
Yeah, we got a very good running back. I was just concerned about it. I saw it and it made me mad as heck. And I understand they want to do that because of they want the NFL, but I don't mind. I think if they miss a bowl game, that's fine. But I would love to see them at least stick around for our last SEC game.
Well, look, we talked about this earlier.
I think they do if it's not December 19th.
Yeah, if the last SEC game is typically Thanksgiving weekend, and they did stick around for that. If Elijah Moore,
chances are right because he's hard to replace those two boys, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
all right, thanks y'all.
Gonna have a tough time just replacing Elijah on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, LSU's got some opt-outs too. There's a lot of talk, as Travis says in the thread, there's a lot of talk about their running backs being out. They've got people out, people opting out. Hell, who knows? It's a COVID year. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Get to the starting line, get to the finish line. This is the finish line.
Drinkwitz collects Disney figurines as a side hobby. He's going to have them 6-4.
Hey, who do we have?
Pat.
What's up, Pat?
What about it, Chase, Neal? How y'all doing tonight?
We're just chilling.
We're lovely.
How do y'all leave Notre Dame out, man?
I mentioned that.
Chase is all about.
I missed that. I mean, Notre Dame, the NBC contract, that kind of money. That's yeah.
They have money, they have publicity, they have tradition on their side, they have a difficult time recruiting back to back. There's a certain way you have to recruit Notre Dame, and Kelly's figured it out, but it's the floor moves a lot on the Notre Dame job, in my opinion. Like, you can get up there and you can be nationally competitive, and you can get in the playoff, and you can compete for championships, but that floor can kind of sink on you pretty quickly too.
And their uniforms are nice. I'm a uniform guy. Their uniforms are, I love them.
They do have great uniforms. I agree.
Wish they'd wear the green a little more. They've only worn the green a couple times. I wish they'd wear a little more green.
I know Grimes already called in, but Neal, next time you talk to Grimes, tell him I said let's match one. He'll know what I mean.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all. I was just going to call in and say how y'all boys are doing. Oh, yeah. Chase, I just bought a new set of clubs, some Titleist T300s, the chunkies.
Yeah.
Actually. But
sure.
I noticed the other night you were talking about the Titleist drivers spinning a little bit for you.
They do. And I know it's shaft more than head, but still.
That's what she said.
Just curious, what ball do you prefer?
I've been using a TP5 for probably the last year and a half.
I just tried the
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I prefer the TaylorMade to the Titleist a little bit. I sometimes I get the Callaway Truvis because I'm about half blind, so I like watching the soccer balls because I can see them better.
Yeah, I like those Clover ones they had.
Yeah.
I tried the AVX, the Titleist AVX here recently. I think that's a ball that I know a lot of people say, it's no different really than the Pro V1 or X, but it felt different to me. It played different to me, it seemed like.
Like around the green, softer or something?
I mean, even off the iron.
Really?
I like the ball flight. It just felt like it flew different, So.
Okay.
But I was just curious about that. Y'all enjoy the rest of the night. Hotty toddy.
Thank you.
That was Pat.
This game has not been overly entertaining, I wouldn't say. Like, it's close and it's fine. But
Marcus Mariota's parents disagree. They've enjoyed it.
I'm happy for
He's
Marcus.
played well.
Somebody said that next week they might have the highest ratings in the state in history because if he starts again, and I think he will because Carr did not look like he's going to play next week.
No.
Mariota against Tua.
Oh, that'd be a big game in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Big Ben Wall.
Hey, Big Ben, what's up?
I feel like I was kind of the catalyst for the whole where's Auburn as a program arguing with Ron on Tuesday. I just want to clarify, as a job, Auburn's a top 10 job. As a program, Auburn's in the 12 to 15 range. I think it fits best in the SEC. I think there's 4 or 5 better programs outside the SEC. And then you got all the tweeners, like in Penn State, Oregon, Wisconsin, Florida State, Miami, that are also right on that level. And also, big argument was, Ole Miss can get to Auburn's level now. I think that was hasn't been talked about. Lane Kiffin could get Ole Miss to where Auburn is now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
100%.
So, I mean, I think
they were there
Auburn's
5
a good
years
program,
ago.
But they're not, I think he has them a tier above where they are. They're a second-tier program. He has them right at the near the tail end of the first tier, and they're just not that.
Look, the SEC money is such that it's a difference maker. It's
now, we
money.
Talking program or job? Like
all of the above.
Program or like as a job?
All of the above.
Okay.
In 3 years, if you can be the coach at Ole Miss or the coach at Wisconsin, which one do you want to be?
I mean, I'm playing Iowa, Northwestern, Illinois, Nebraska, and then my one shot to Ohio State. I'd rather be Wisconsin.
And you really struggle to recruit at a national level, and when it happens, you can't win when you actually get into the playoffs.
I'd rather be Ole Miss where I say, hey, we need this, and they go, okay, well, here's the money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Wisconsin and a lot of those programs aren't up there, is they just cannot recruit nationally to the level necessary to compete. Week in, week out from a playoff standpoint.
To be fair to Auburn, Clemson is really just Auburn with an easy schedule.
It's Auburn. It's Auburn with a lake, and it's Auburn with a. They struck gold on the coach, and they've invested in him, and now they have more money than God, and they've built.
Speaking of it, I mean, if you look at that, sorry to interrupt, Dabo. I mean, it took him 5 years to peak, and he had Taj Boyd and Deshaun Watson to do it. If you look at the recruiting rankings for Clemson the last 10 years, they didn't get into the top 5 but once. I mean, Clemson's good, but they have 1, or 2 games on their schedule, and they skate by. Now they basically use that easy schedule to turn themselves into Clemson. Auburn, Ole Miss recruit the same level as Clemson a lot of times when Hugh Freeze was here. With Gus Malzahn. So I think Clemson, Dabo is a lot more overrated than I think he gets credit for. He took a lot longer than a lot of people realize.
Well, they gave him the time, but yeah. Look, people are having this Auburn debate about Auburn being a top 15 job. Auburn in every single world is a top 15 job. I covered Auburn.
I agree.
Auburn is a top 15 job, period, the end. I mean, whether it's a top 10 job, we can have that debate, but top 15, absolutely.
And just to move on from that, one question. Obviously Ole Miss missed A&M game because of some coronavirus thing. Just to be a devil's advocate, because I do think I am disappointed by Elijah and Yeboah opting out. Is there any chance they missed a lot of time to just contact tracing? Just said, look, we missed a lot of practice. We're rusty. We don't want to risk it. We're not.
I don't think so. I just think it's December the 20th, and if you get hurt, you're going to miss a lot of your combine time, and it's not worth it.
Okay, I was just looking for some good PR there, maybe.
Thanks, Big. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.
If you get hurt December the 20th, you're going to miss January, which is a huge month from a development standpoint. That's when DK and AJ. That's when DK and AJ turned into Hercules.
Yeah, that was the month.
Yeah, I get it. I don't have any fault with it. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Ezoy Dunn.
Who is it? Oh, I got you. I got you. What's up?
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good. I don't know if there's been many people calling in about Elijah Moore, just yet. But don't ban me on your boards. Dropping a lot of P words. Sorry.
You're accusing him of being a P word for dropping out? I'm lost.
I assume that's what that meant.
Yeah, come on. It's millions of dollars on the line. I get where fans come from, but I get where the players come from too.
lot of money.
It's a ton of money. If you get hurt.
And everything points toward college football being this level of business now. I mean, it's more of a business than it was 20 years ago.
Sometime in May, there's a Thursday night that he wants to go 26 to the whoever.
Lane wants to go walk him down the aisle when he does it.
Yeah, wants to tweet about it.
Be up there taking pictures.
Yeah, of course. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's David in Olive Branch.
Hey, David, what's up?
I was just, I got my weekly recruiting questions. How y'all doing?
Oh, lovely.
Obviously next year, next year, 2022 is stacked for in-state. It's kind of a funny question. Are Walter Nolan, Xavier Harris, and Jaheim Otis all takes? And, do you think we have a legit shot of landing all three of them?
Nolan
That's our defensive lineup forever.
Yeah, Nolan and Otis are definitely takes. I don't know where the things stand. I just don't know. Beats me, and I'm not sure I've heard of the other kid yet, but I haven't remotely turned my attention to that class, if I'm honest.
Xavier Harris he's a big defensive tackle out of Germantown. He was teammates with John Lewis, as well as Branson Robinson, running back out of Germantown as well.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't turned my attention to that class yet at all.
I got you. Oh, how things going with recruiting?
In the barn.
Yeah, it's basically done. They had a good class, a really good class considering everything.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you. I bet it's a disappointment when people think I know about the next year's class yet. It's December the 17th. Nope, not there yet.
Yeah.
I got time to take a couple more calls if you guys want to call. It's 8:47, 17-10 Chargers over the Raiders. Chargers have the ball at their own 25. Getting started in the third quarter. Interference.
This is a competitive game on Thursday. Some of these Thursdays games are duds.
The questions about Malik McClain, my anticipation is he's going to sign with Ole Miss tomorrow. If you told me he already signed with Ole Miss, I'd buy it.
I think it's 2 o'clock. Is that right?
Is that right?
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 tomorrow.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss gets him tomorrow. And I think on Saturday, Ole Miss announces that they've signed Quay Davis. And it's a really good wide receiver class that should tell you a whole lot about what they think about their current wide receiver room.
Baseball, it's hard to give a percentage. I mean, it's impossible right now to predict more than 25%. We'll see. Hope for more, but I don't know.
Attendance.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know it's outside and all, but still.
Just such a weird year. I mean, you look at the basket, like the Ole Miss Middle Tennessee game last night would have been a huge game in Murfreesboro. People there to see Kermit and all that stuff, and there's nobody there. It's such a weird deal. It's hard to watch.
I was laughing at myself this morning because is that something important?
No.
I was laughing at myself because typically, and it's not about my commentary or whatever, but it kind of does set the calendar for people a little bit. I usually do those like, hey, here's 10 dates I'm kind of looking forward to in the next year. And I went, we don't know any of the schedules.
No.
It's an impossible thing because I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I always do a year in review, like top 10 things from 2020, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. Instead, this year I'm going to write a column.
Yeah.
There aren't 10 top things.
No. Which really aren't. No, Lane will not suit up any mid-years for the bowl game.
No.
He said they'll service team practice.
Yeah, no.
He said he doesn't even have time to acclimate them if he wanted to.
That's disingenuous to the kids.
When you're taking time away from other kids that have earned the spot.
Who've earned it. All right, kind of a last call here. It's 8:50. We've been with you for about an hour and 50 minutes, so we'll take a last call if you've got one. Otherwise, we're going to probably head to the weekend. We'll have hand raise guys at 12:30.
Scoreboard business.
Yeah, when I say hand raise guys. We'll have scoreboard business at 12:30. We'll have hand raised guys after the game for a little while on Saturday.
I'll be with you during the game. Obviously, Pete
Yep.
DeWeese will close the season with us as well.
Yep. And we'll have I'll put up some stream stuff earlier in the day. I talked to different people today. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that. So if you're getting up on Saturday and you're going to enjoy your college football Saturday and get ready for some Christmas shopping or whatnot and hanging out, we'll put some stuff up. I'll replay the soft verbal. I'll replay today's SEC football and beyond. We're taping the Butcher versus the spin instructor tomorrow. We'll put that up. So, stuff in your background if you want to have it. And then Chase and I will be with you at 12:30, and then we'll be with you at 2:30 for the game, and then we'll do hand-raised guys after the game, and probably bid adieu for the most part until after Christmas. But it's been a great year. Thank God we've had it. And
definitely no hand-raised guys next Thursday night.
Yeah. No Christmas Eve hand-raised guys. That's not going to happen.
So
I can tell you that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Really, I mean, it's been some semblance of normal for football season. So
what's been better than what the alternative was on that brutal day in August when I thought it's all when someone in the SEC office said, "Neal, I don't know how we're going to get there," and I thought that was the worst day of the whole pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it, but I had COVID.
Yeah.
And that day was just depressing. And I felt this just depression slip over me. It's the day that I'll write about a little bit in a couple of weeks is I thought, what are we going to do? How do we make it? And it all worked out. Yeah. And I'm so thankful for a football season, and I know a lot of you are too, and I look so forward to the 2021 season because I actually have some optimism that it's going to be something similar to normal.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks to everyone who called. Thanks to everyone who's been with us. We've been with you for a couple hours. So thanks for being with us. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Ole Miss and LSU at 2:30. We'll be with you long before that. So thanks for being with us. We appreciate you more than you can ever possibly know. For Chase Parham, I'm Neal McCready. That does it for this. Hand raised guys. We'll put this up in podcast form on the Oxford Exxon podcast tomorrow. Until Saturday, take care.